Hello there and welcome back to my channel. As you can see, we are doing the next part of my makeup collection 2021. Now I am going to be showing you both my foundations and concealers in this video. I've just got my foundations out for the time being to show you first, and then I'll get my concealers out after. This video is probably going to be a bit longer than last video because I'm obviously showing you my foundations and concealer, but I thought it would be best to show it in the same video. So as you can see, have got a lot of foundations for one person. I'm just gonna do what I did with my primer collection. By the way, if you've not watched that, I will link that down below. I'm gonna show you them like kind of one by one, tell you my thoughts and opinions on it, and that's it. So let's get into it. Okay, so firstly I have the Revolution Glow Body Val Face and Body Foundation. I've done a full review on this, and if you want to go and watch that, I'll leave that link down below. I actually really like this foundation. It just didn't last long on me. This has a little bit of a squeezy tube top, and this, you know, is meant to be used on your body as well, but I just use it as like a face foundation. To be honest, I haven't actually used it since that video. I probably should give it another go, but it does have nice coverage. I was really surprised at the coverage, and you get 120ml in here when it's £15, and I thought that was such a good price. I might as well just show you all the Revolution foundations. So the next Revolution one is the Glow foundation. This is such a good glowy foundation, especially if you're like me and have combination skin and don't really like super glowy foundations all the time. This actually dries down and gives such a natural, subtle glow. Have got a video on this again if you want to watch that. I'll leave that link down below. But yeah, this is actually one of my favourite Revolution foundations, and I'm not normally a glowy gal. This is the Conceal and Glow foundation. I think this was £9. This is an absolute holy grail in my foundation collection. Revolution Conceal and Define. This is the one with the spoolie on it. That's not a spoolie, what's that called? A doe foot, there we go. I have mine in the shade F3. I kind of go between F2 and F3. This, yeah, my holy grail. It just has such a good finish, really good coverage, and I've been literally using this since it came out. I think this is my second or third bottle maybe, but as you can see, I have a lot of foundations to get through. Revolution Matte Base, I don't use this one as much as the other ones, but this is a really good cheap foundation. This is actually £5, and it's got really good coverage, so if you're looking for something a bit more affordable, then definitely check this out. I have the Super Dewy Skin Tint Tinted Moisturiser. Again, have a whole video on this. Haven't used this an awful lot, to be honest, since I actually tested it out, because these are just not typically something I would go for. However, if it is, this is a really nice one. You get a lot of products. You get 55ml in here, and as you can see, it's got a nice pump on it. So yeah, not my favourite foundation, but definitely good for like the more natural skin days. I have the Relove Super Serum in here. I actually have the Revolution Pro ones as well, yeah. So these are actually quite similar. I'm thinking of doing a video comparing these two, just to show you guys what the difference is between these. But this one is a lot more dewy and a lot more heavy, I think, than these. I actually really love these. I use them quite a lot. And this is £5 and these are £7, I think, but they're always on sale on the website. So I love both of these. I think I just prefer these, but if you want me to do a whole video on them, then definitely let me know. I think they're all my Revolution foundations. I'll show you some more drugstore ones. So I've got the two Maybelline Superstay foundations. I think this is discontinued now, which absolutely sucks because I actually prefer this one to the new one. This is the Active foundation, up to 30 hour wear. I did actually do a whole video testing these two out against each other if you want to go and watch that. But yeah, I definitely prefer the old one, which really sucks because you can't get it anymore. But yeah, they're the lids if you want to see them. But yeah, I haven't actually used this since that video, to be fair. I probably should give that another go. I really should declutter some of these because there's so much of them. but I feel like I need to give them another go before I declutter. Collection Lasting Perfection foundation. This is actually really nice. I used this recently. I think when I was testing out the Tokyo collection, they've got a new palette launching on Thursday. I should be getting that tomorrow or the next day, so you should see it this week. Yeah, this is a really nice foundation. It does say matte on here, but it's not matte at all. It has a dew finish, but I think that's because it's got SPF 30 in it. I think this is about £6 or £7, and it's really, really nice. Barry M Fresh Face foundation. This is a light coverage, kind of like the skin tint, like a moisturizer type of product. I actually like this because it dries down, it doesn't stay dewy, it just gives you a nice glow, but has very light coverage, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but when I have, you know, good skin, I will reach for products like this. Another Evolution one that I forgot to show you is by XX Revolution. This is the Foundation foundation, I believe, and this is not my favourite. I'm waiting for them to come out with a new foundation because I'm not the biggest fan of any of their foundations. They have this one and the more glowy one. The one with the pink lid is just so cakey and heavy and dewy. I just really didn't like it, so I prefer this one. I don't reach for this an awful lot because it's not my favourite formula. What other drugstore ones I got? Oh, this is another holy grail. This is the MUA Pro Base Longwear Matte Finish Foundation. If I ever need a foundation for a long day, this is the foundation I'm reaching for. It is unbelievable. This is like £5 and it's just got such good coverage. It lasts a very long time. It's actually one of the foundations that do last a long time on my skin, so highly recommend this if you've got a combination or oily skin type. Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. I really like this. I actually haven't tried it in this shade yet though. I bought this off of, I think, Rebecca, because basically I ended up selling the one I had because it was too pink and too dark. This is the perfect shade for me that they've got, and I really liked it, so I decided to get it off of Rebecca, and now I need to try it again because from what I remember, I really, really like this. Again, this is a holy grail. L'Oreal Infallible 24 matte cover. This will never not be in my top 3 foundations because it is just amazing. It's honestly one of the best foundations in my entire collection, and it's £10 and I really, really love it. It's got such good coverage, it's matte, it lasts a long time, and yeah, it doesn't dry me out either, which is really, really good, so I highly recommend this. I think I have a video on this, you know, and the video still does well, like now, like I still get more views on it every month, which is crazy. Okay, all the rest of these are high-end. I do have a Morphe one. Morphe's kind of in between high-end and drugstore, so I'm going to put this one in here. Very good foundation. It's a matte foundation. I used mine in the shade F1.50. I really liked it. Again, good coverage, not too much, not drying, and it lasts quite a long time as well. Okay, I have a couple of stick foundations. I firstly have the Huda Beauty stick foundation. I tried this once because I bought it off of one of my patrons at the time, and I didn't like it, to be honest with you, so I need to just give this another go, and if I don't like it again, I'm just going to declutter that because it's just wasting my collection. It's a very expensive foundation. This one is a recent Depop purchase. As you can see, that is Hourglass. Never in my life have I tried Hourglass makeup. By the way, it looks like that because it melted in the post and I had to put it in the fridge to put it all back together. But this is the Hourglass stick foundation. Jacqueline Hill absolutely raves about this, and it was £5 on Depop, and she'd only used it a couple of times, and I was like, that is a bargain and a half, so I decided to treat myself. I completely forgot about this Morphe foundation as well, sorry. This is the soft matte foundation, or the soft filter, something like that. I need to try this again because I did not like it in my full face first impressions. It just wasn't really the best foundation, to be fair. And look how pale that shade is. It's so light. Moving on, I have 2 Urban Decay foundations. I have the Urban Decay Hydro Maniac foundation. That was really good, actually. It's just very dewy. And I also have the Stay Naked, which I might end up decluttering, but again, I need to try it before I sell it because I just want to make sure that I definitely don't get on with this. But I'm pretty sure when I tried it, it was just a bit too thin and a bit too light coverage for me. This has a Revolution lid on it, but this is the Fenty Beauty foundation. One of my friends and patrons, Jessica, actually gave this to me because she didn't like the shade or something, and I'd never tried this before, and I am planning on doing a full face of Fenty like as soon as I can. I think there may be just like brow stuff I need to get, and then I can definitely film it. So that is basically awaiting me to test that out. The other Fenty products I've got in here are the Ease Drops. I am planning on doing a video on these. I just honestly haven't had time to. These are in the shade 1, and this is just the more like moisturiser, like light coverage type of product that's really in at the moment. I would have done that for my full face of Fenty, but because I haven't tried the Pro Filter one, I'm going to save this for its own video because this is more new. I have 4 little minis of the, I think it's the Dior foundation, Forever Skin Glow foundation. Amber actually gave this to me when she sent me some samples over, so I need to try those because I've never tried Dior before. We have the Jouer foundation. I know Miss absolutely loved these. I know she isn't much of a fan of these types of foundations anymore, but this is a high coverage cream foundation. I've used this a couple times actually, and you know, it's not my favourite. It's a nice foundation, very good coverage, but it's a very pale shade as well. Plus it's like £34 for 20ml. I definitely didn't pay full price for this. I actually think I got it from Missa. I think she had 3 different shades, so I picked up one of the shades she didn't want anymore. So yeah, it's okay. Very expensive though. Huda Beauty, what's this called again? The Faux Filter Luminous Matte. This is the newer version. I did sell the older version to Lauren, I think. Bought this off Rebecca because I really wanted to try it. And I think I did try it in a full face first impressions if I remember rightly. The colour is a little bit darker, but I mean, I'm happy to have a slightly darker foundation for when I am a little bit more tanned. The majority of my foundations are so pale, but this is expensive. I did buy it second hand though, and it's actually really nice. I do prefer it to the old formula, which is always good. I've got the Too Faced Born This Way 24-hour matte foundation. This is really nice. It's definitely a lot better for me than the old Born This Way foundation. I mean, they still sell it, but the other Born This Way, this is definitely a lot better. It's not as dewy, but I don't reach for this a lot. I think, again, I need to use this at some point and try and remember if I like it that much. I've got 2 NARS foundations. Oh my goodness, I freaking love these foundations. This first one is the Natural Radiant foundation. I got mine in the shade Mont Blanc, and oh my goodness, is this beautiful. I absolutely love it, to be honest with you. It's so expensive, but I actually got mine with my Glossy Box credits on Look Fantastic, so I didn't pay a penny for it. So if you are subscribed to Glossy Box, that is the perks, because you get some, you can spend some money on Look Fantastic. But yeah, I highly recommend that. It's absolutely beautiful. This, however, is my favourite NARS foundation, the new soft matte one. It's so good. You get like 45ml in here for like £30 or £32. It's just so good. I still love that other formula, but this one just tops it off. It's just a little bit more suited to my skin type, and I absolutely love it. Next we have the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation. Now this is so expensive. It's like £43. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I actually got this on a lockdown deal last year for this and the loose powder for £50, which is really good considering this is 43, and I'm pretty sure the loose powder, like one of these ones, one of these is like £39, and I got them both for 50. So I thought that was a really good deal, couldn't pass it on, and I love this foundation. It is, however, extremely similar to the NARS one. So if you've got the NARS one, you know, they're pretty much the same, to be honest. I can't really tell too much of a difference between them apart from the price. The NARS is way cheaper. And lastly, one of my favourite foundations in my entire collection is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless foundation. I just don't know what sort of magic is in this, but it just makes my skin literally look flawless. This paired with the Flawless powder, unreal combo. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes when I saw how this looked on my skin. I got this off of a sausage ages ago, like months ago, for like 20 quid, and this is normally like 34. Or did I get in a bundle for 20 quid? I think I got in a bundle for 20 quid. So I paid an absolute bargain for this, and honestly guys, one of my favourite foundations. I don't always like talking about expensive makeup, but sometimes you do have to pay more money for better products, and this is just 100% worth it, and I would repurchase this. Okay, so those are all my foundations. I'm going to now put all this back, get my concealers out, and then I can show you all of them. Okay, so I filmed my foundation collection about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I've been so busy with uploads I haven't even thought about finishing this video and getting it up, but I really need to because I've got so many parts of my collection I need to get through. So we're finishing off today's video finally. Well, for you it's literally the same video, but for me I'm finally finishing off my concealer collection. Firstly, I actually have 2 cushion foundations I completely forgot to include in my foundation collection. So firstly we have the XX Revolution one. I have used this, it's got a little light up mirror. I did a full review and wear test on this foundation. And then next I have this foundation, which is actually from Stylevana. They actually sent this to me to test out, and this was actually really nice. I don't reach with these a lot. I probably will declutter one of these because I just won't use them. I also have a couple of concealer palettes. Now firstly I have a NYX concealer palette. Basically when I started doing my course for the online makeup academy, I quickly realised that I do actually need some like green colour corrector, so I made sure I bought like a colour corrector concealer palette because I don't have any colour correctors in my collection. Next I have this Revolution matte base concealer kit, which is in the shades 1 to 4, and in here we have a under eye concealer, a powder, and then 2 like other concealers. I use this mainly to conceal spots and stuff. That's what I like to use like solid concealers for, but I don't ultimately reach for them quite a lot. Firstly, I have this Revolution Pot Concealer. I've used this a few times, again for the same reason, to cover spots. Mine's in the shade Light Beige, and this is the Conceal and Fix Pot Concealer. Next I have another concealer by Revolution. This is the Eye Bright Illuminating Concealer. As you can see, it's kind of like all separated in there. I've only used this once and it's not my favourite, to be honest. It didn't really give me the best like coverage and things, so I haven't really reached this that much, and to be honest I could probably declutter that. Let me just get this one out of the way. This is by Jeffree Star Cosmetics. I use this in my own time, and to be honest with you, I am literally trying to use this up. I did buy this way before all of the drama and stuff, and I am most definitely working my way through it. I've still got some product left, but I will literally bin this and I will not repurchase it. Sorry I keep changing the camera angle, it's just having so much trouble focusing. Next I have the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. Now I absolutely love this concealer. It's honestly one of my favourites. It is so good, really nice coverage, and you get like 11ml in here and it's so affordable. I cannot rave about this concealer enough. Next I have the Revlon Candid Concealer. Now I preferred this to the actual foundation. Like I just didn't get on with the foundation whatsoever, but this I really liked. I have mine in the shade 010, and yeah, I really like this. I actually bought this because of Makeup Mist. I actually used it as an eye base, but I wanted to try it as like an actual concealer and I was really impressed. Next I have the XX Revolution Concealer. This is in the shade CX2. This is actually a really good concealer and I have no idea why I haven't used it in so long, because the coverage on this is literally so incredible. I love it so much. Next we have the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite Concealer. Again, this is another one of my favourites. It's really good for the price. It has one of those like big doe foot applicators. I feel like they're very in now, like a lot of brands do them, and I think this is my favourite Revolution concealer that they do. This is the one that I like always reach for. I have 2 of the Revolution Conceal and Hydrate concealers. This isn't my favourite, but it's still a really good one. I have the shades C2 and C3. I kind of am between C1, C2 and C3, depending on how tanned I am, which I'm not really most of the time. But yeah, I like this one as well. I just prefer the Conceal and Define Infinite. Next, I have the I Heart Revolution Heartbreakers Concealer. To be honest with you, the only reason I keep this is because it's the only concealer I Heart Revolution do at the moment, and I want to keep it in case I just like do a full face of I Heart Revolution. It's honestly not the best. It has like a really cute doe foot though It has like a little heart-shaped doe foot. The concealer itself is very thin in consistency, very like light coverage, so that's why I don't like it, but I do keep it just in case I do a full face of I Heart Revolution. Next we have the Morphe concealer. Now this is actually really good. I should probably repurchase this now though, because I feel like it smells like chemicals, and that probably means that it's off. I have mine in the shade C1.55. This is a really good concealer actually. The foundation and this concealer together, really good combination. I need to repurchase this. Next we have the Ordinary concealer. Now I don't think I liked this, and to be honest I've actually only used it once when I tested it in my full face first impression, so I should probably use this again and make a decision on whether I should keep it or not. Like with my concealers, I basically reach for like the same ones all the time. Like I don't really delve much into it, but maybe I should be digging a little bit deeper for like different concealers and not just using the same ones. I have a Bare Minerals Bare Skin concealer. To be honest with you, don't really use this. I think my auntie gave this to me if I remember correctly. I think I might have used it once or twice, but honestly it's nothing that I could super rave about, to be fair. Again, I think I'll just use this and see what I think, and then I might just end up binning it. I have two Urban Decay concealers. I have the Stay Naked one, which I did just recently declutter the foundation because it just wasn't my favourite. It's super thin. I need to test this out again and see if I like it, and then just get rid of it, because I'm just so like... I'm so over like keeping things for the sake of it. Like if I'm not going to use this, I'll definitely sell that on. Don't know why this one is in the box. I must have thrown away my other one because this one is like completely brand new. I bought it off of Jodie, I think maybe last year. This is such a good concealer if you love your full coverage, or if you're like me and you're blemish prone. This is a really nice high coverage concealer to cover blemishes and things. Yeah, I really like that. If you are an OG of this channel, this was actually my maybe third video of my channel, which is absolutely crazy, and I still have this concealer in my collection. How mad is that? I have a Maybelline Superstay concealer. To be honest, this is one that I don't use a lot as well. This is a full coverage under eye concealer. I think I might have used this once, I can't remember, but it's a nice like doe foot applicator. The shade looks quite dark for me, to be fair, but maybe I just need to try it again. I need to stop reaching for the same concealers and just try the different ones in my collection, because again, if I'm not going to use it, I will just throw it away. Next we have the e.l.f. Hydrating Concealer. This is so much better than the camo one. The camo one is so like dry and just uncomfortable. I can't explain it, I just really didn't like it. This one, however, really good. Again, another one with like a big doe foot. The colour's a little bit off. This is like light ivory, but it pulls a little bit yellowy. I'll definitely see if I have to pick up another shade, but this concealer is actually amazing. This is my last drugstore one. This is the Collection Lasting Perfection. This is such a classic. I can't work out if the formula's changed or anything. I mean, I don't think it has. The OG one was just absolutely incredible, and when they revamped their packaging, I just had to pick up a new one. I also got the matching foundation for this, and yeah, I really like the foundation. This concealer, really good. Again, I have reached for this like quite a few times, but just not as much as my regular concealers. I have two by Fenty. I have their like regular Pro Filter concealer, and I have the newest eye brightening one. This is such a good eye brightening concealer. I really loved it when I tried it. Definitely worth picking up if you do love the whole eye brightening effect. I have mine in the shade Golden Ivory, if you're wondering. The other lighter one pulls really pink, so I wanted to get this one, and it works really well. And then the normal concealer I've got in the shade 130. This isn't a concealer, again, that I reach for quite a lot, but I'm planning on doing a full face of Fenty at some point. I say that all the time and don't actually get around to it, but I will be doing full face of brand videos. I really do enjoy doing them, so I'm definitely going to put Fenty on the list because I have so much from Fenty. Next we have a Dose of Colours concealer. Now I actually purchased this, I think this year maybe, when Beauty Bay did their like massive 70% off sale, and they were like discontinuing Dose of Colours off their website, which I'm just so devastated about, you have no idea. However, this is too dark for me. This is in the shade 11 light medium, so I use this mostly on my blemishes. If the concealer I'm using everywhere else is too light, I'll then go in with this one to cover my blemishes. But yeah, this is too dark for me and I can't bring myself to declutter a dose of colours concealer. This is so expensive. Next we have the Too Faced Born This Way Multi Sculpting Concealer. Now this is in the shade Cloud. It's quite light, as you can see. I don't get Too Faced's shade range. Like, everything just seems either too light or too dark. Like, there's no like perfect fair shade, I feel. I don't know if that's just me. I've tried a few shades from Too Faced. I just can't find my perfect one. If you've got a similar skin tone to me, please let me know what colour you use. Yeah, so this shade Cloud is light. Like, it's very fair. So whenever I really want an eye brightening effect, I definitely reach for this. But this is a very good concealer. I think I bought this off of one of my subscribers. And yeah, I really love it. It's hydrating, it's full coverage. It smells a bit chemically, so I'm wondering if that's starting to go off, which is a bit worrying. But hey ho. Next we have the Jouer concealer. Again, I bought this on a Beauty Bay sale last year. I believe it was throughout lockdown. I think I got this for like £11. This is in the shade Wheat, a little bit too dark for me, so again I'll use this for like blemishes or when I'm a little bit tanned. I'll reach for these ones. But yeah, this is a little bit too dark. This is a nice concealer though. I do actually have the Jouer foundation, but I couldn't use them together because this is too dark and the Jouer one is really fair, so it just looks really odd. But this is a nice concealer. If you can get it on the sale, I definitely recommend checking it out. And then lastly, we have an absolute classic. This is the Tarte Shape Tape. This is in the shade Fair Light Neutral. Absolutely love this concealer. I don't think I'll never not have this in my collection. Like, when I go to America next year, I'm going to pick up a backup of this because obviously they have Sephora and stuff. And yeah, I absolutely love this concealer off. But as I was saying, I'm going to pick one of these up next year when I go to America. Cannot not have this in my collection. It's such a go-to concealer. I really love it. Okay, so that is my entire concealer collection. My next video is probably going to be my bronzers and powders. And then my blushes and highlighters I'll probably do separate. I'll try and get these up much more regularly than I have been. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please let me know by smashing the thumbs up button. Comment down below if you're enjoying my makeup collection videos, and of course if you haven't already, please subscribe down below, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.